So, this happened a few weeks ago. It wasn't anything dramatic or life-changing. Just one of those small moments that sticks with you for no reason you can fully explain. I was taking the bus downtown like I've done 100 times before. Nothing new. But I guess the way the day unfolded, it just kind of lingered in my head. Anyway, that morning started like any other. I had to go to this office supply store because my printer ran out of ink again. And of course I waited until the exact moment I had to print something important. Classic me. So I threw on some jeans and a hoodie, stuffed the empty ink cartridge in my backpack so I wouldn't accidentally buy the wrong one, and left the apartment a little later than I planned. I remember rushing out and seeing that the sky was this weird mix of gray and yellow, like it couldn't decide if it wanted to rain or be sunny. It was that kind of day where you regret not bringing an umbrella, but you also feel dumb carrying one around. I didn't take one, by the way. Spoiler alert. The bus stop's only a few blocks away from my place, so I walked fast, checking the time on my phone like every 20 seconds. I saw the bus coming from down the street just as I turned the last corner, and I broke into that half-jog, half-walk thing where you try to act like you're not running, but you definitely are. You know what I mean. I made it just in time. The driver gave me that little nod, the "you're lucky I saw you" nod, and I tapped my card and looked around for a seat. Now here's the thing. I always go for the seat by the window. Not sure why. It's not like I'm staring out at scenic landscapes or anything. Usually it's just traffic, tired buildings, maybe a few trees if you're lucky. But there's something about being by the window that makes me feel a little more, I don't know, tucked in. Like I'm not completely exposed to the world. That day, the only available seat was next to this older woman. Probably late 60s, early 70s. She had on this deep green scarf and one of those canvas tote bags on her lap, like the kind people take to farmers' markets. I gave her a small, hi kind of smile and asked if the seat was taken. She looked up at me, blinked a couple times, then shook her head. "Go ahead, dear," she said, moving her bag a bit. Now, I know this sounds weird, but there was something about her voice that felt familiar. Not like I knew her personally, but more like she reminded me of someone. My 5th grade teacher, maybe. Or my grandma's neighbor who used to give me fruit snacks when I was little. I don't know. I sat down, trying not to bump her with my backpack, and I remember noticing her hands. Thin, kind of wrinkled, with this big turquoise ring on her right hand. It was chipped a little on one edge. I looked away fast. I didn't want to seem like I was staring. The bus started moving, and I pulled out my phone to scroll through messages, maybe answer a few emails. But then something unexpected happened. The woman next to me turned slightly and said, "Is this the right bus to get to the community center on Maple?" Pause. Maple. That sounded familiar, but my brain blanked for a second. I think so," I said. "You mean the one near that little park?" She nodded. "Yes, that's the one. I haven't taken this route in a while." I tried to remember the stops. "Yeah, I think this bus goes close, like a block or two away maybe. I can double-check if you want." She smiled, kind of relieved. "Would you? I always get a bit nervous with these routes. They change the numbers sometimes." That made me think of my own grandma. She used to say that too. about how things change without warning and how confusing it all is now with apps and QR codes and whatever. I pulled out Google Maps and typed it in for her. Turns out she needed to get off a stop before mine. "I'll let you know when we get close," I said, showing her the screen. "Thank you," she said softly. "I'm meeting an old friend for tea. We haven't seen each other in over 20 years. That made me smile. I pictured two older ladies sitting in some tiny cafe, catching up on everything and nothing at the same time. "That sounds nice," I said. "Reunions like that are rare." She nodded slowly, and then there was this short silence between us. Not awkward, just quiet. The kind where you both feel okay not talking for a while. As we rode, I started noticing little things. A kid in a Spider-Man backpack trying to balance on the seat while his mom scrolled on her phone. A guy in the back bobbing his head to music only he could hear. The driver humming along to something faintly playing on the radio. I don't know why, but the whole scene made me feel weirdly connected. Like we were all just here together for this short stretch of time, sharing this moving space, each going somewhere for some reason. Eventually, my phone buzzed and I glanced down. An email from work asking if I could hop on a Zoom call later. I sighed a little. The grind never stops. But then the woman next to me tapped my arm gently. "Is this the stop?" "Check." "Yeah, this is it. You'll just walk straight, then take a right. The community center should be right there." She stood up slowly, clutching her tote bag. "You've been very kind." "Thank you. It makes a difference, you know." I kind of shrugged but smiled. "No problem. Have a great tea date." As she got off, I watched her through the window for a few seconds. She paused outside the bus like she was getting her bearings, then started walking with this calm determination. And for some reason I kept thinking about her long after she was gone. About how she said, "It makes a difference." That line stuck with me. Because it's true, right? Those little things, directions, a smile, just answering a question without being annoyed. They actually do matter. When I got off the bus and walked to the store, I kept noticing stuff. A little girl dropping her ice cream and just staring at it like her whole world had ended. A dog tied up outside a coffee shop looking super confused. A guy laughing out loud at something on his phone. It was like everything around me was sharper somehow. Later that night, I sat on the edge of my bed, scrolling aimlessly through social media, and I saw this quote someone posted. "Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible." I don't usually pay attention to that kind of stuff, but that night I screenshotted it. I don't know if the woman made it to her tea date okay, or if her friend showed up. But I hope they did. And I hope their conversation was full of warmth and weird stories and laughter. And the next time I see someone looking lost on the bus, I think I'll pay a little more attention.